Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be installing a body wave wig from Dolago hair, and for today's style I will be doing this inspired look from Malaysia of Basketball Wives, and she pretty much had like a braid with a roller set type of look, so I did want to like redo that look for you guys on my channel. Now this body wave wig did come really pretty, and it was nicely pre-plucked, so I really didn't have to do too much plucking, but I went ahead off camera and wand curled the whole wig before even installing, because you already know when you wash body wave hair, it loses its pattern. So I did go ahead and like I said, wand curl the whole thing and just brush those wand curls out. And I already bleached the knots and applied lace tint and foundation in level 16. So I'm just going to go ahead and like pretty much just jump into installing this wig today. Now, as I mentioned before, I got this inspired look from Malaysia of Basketball Wives, and I wanted to redo it, so I decided to do it with this body wave wig here. So as far as installing today, I will be using the Gold Spawn lace glue, and it works the same as the bold hold. You just want to make sure you apply that glue, you spread it out, you use up to, you know, between 3 to 5, sometimes even 7 layers, depending on, you know, how long you want that to hold on. But for today, I did use 4 layers. I used to use 3 layers, but I just, you know, bumped it up a notch and went with the 4 layers. And it actually holds a little bit better than the 3 layers. So eventually I will work my way up to 5. But right now I'm just going to use 4 layers of this lace glue. And then once it turns completely clear, I am going to pull that lace down into that glue. Now, once that glue go ahead and dries clear, you can begin to pull that lace down into that glue. Have your client hold each side nice and firm as you blow dry, comb, and melt that lace down into that glue. And what I like to do is just keep that extra cap on, that extra lace on first, because it helps with like pulling and applying pressure, especially as they hold it down while you blow drying. Some people do cut the lace first before installing, but I just like to cut it off last. That way I'm cutting off the extra lace that's not needed. But in the meantime, you do want to just, you know, blow dry on warm to hot heat, and using your fingers, your comb, and that blow dryer to melt that lace in. And then once I do that, I will go ahead and begin to cut off that extra lace. So for today, I will be cutting off the extra lace using the eyebrow razor. I just took the scissors to kind of like slit the lace, you know, open, just so I can get closer to where I need to cut. And when you are doing this method, be very careful. Kind of lift the lace as you're cutting. As you are cutting, that way you won't accidentally slice your client's skin. And I'm just taking the back of that eyebrow razor and just pushing that lace into that glue. And you want to just repeat these same steps to both sides, and also, you know, just go in with that glue and tack down any pieces that is still lifting. Now that everything is tacked down, I'm just going to go ahead and part off this section that I will be using for the baby hairs. So I'm just going to part off that thin layer from left to right, and then I will be taking the Bio Silk hairstyling spray and just spraying that hairspray from the left side to the right, from ear to ear. And I would just take my Beautiful Hustler melt belt and tie down that lace just to get that lace super melted, and just making sure like everything is secured and you know, tacked down completely. So even if I did go back and, you know, glue anything, but I did miss a few spots, or however I didn't see, that Bio Silk will make sure like all of that stuff is laid. It just like works great together, that lace glue and the holding spray, and just gives it like a double secured hold and melt. So this is a method that I, you know, created myself, and I absolutely love it. So give it a try if you haven't already. So after letting that melt belt sit for about 10 to 15 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and remove it, and your lace should be super melted in. If you would like to purchase a melt belt, just do so on my website link that's listed below under the details of this hair, and you can purchase your melt belt today. Also, once you remove that melt belt, you do want to go ahead and comb those hairs out. And I will be using my wax stick, and I will just apply that wax stick all over the top where my parting will be, and just hot comb those roots out very, very nice and flat. You want to make sure that you do not skip this step. If you want your installation to be very neat and flat and just natural looking, you need to make sure that you do press the roots out, because it makes a major difference, and you want it to be smooth, like smooth to the T. Yeah, you just really want to make sure you do that. That way you don't get that humpy bumpy, you know, finishing result. Like, just be careful, take your time. If you are not good with using just a regular Marcel iron that you put on a stove, I recommend that you buy you a plug-in hot comb. And it's a little bit safer to use, but it still gets really hot, so you still want to be careful. Also, do not leave the hot comb sitting on top of the lace, because it will burn a hole in it. And then once it burns a hole in the lace, you have a big hole that you have to either cover up, or you just pretty much ruin your whole installation. So be very careful with that. And most importantly, do not burn your client. Now, as I mentioned, I am doing a braid on the side. So I went ahead and sectioned off where I'm going to do the braid. And I'm just going to begin braiding using my nails to scoop some more hair into that braid. And I'm just going to braid like a square section of that hair. And like I mentioned, once again, I got this inspiration from Malaysia of Basketball Wives. So I'm just going to braid that hair, and then when I get a little bit down, like towards the plaiting part of that braid, I am going to secure that with a rubber band. And then later on in the video at the end, I will add the charms to that side. But yeah, you do want to braid it as neat as possible, pulling that hair in piece by piece. That way the braid is nice, flat and neat, and you don't have any like hair sticking out from different places. Like, you want to braid it as neat as possible. And actually, it was kind of easier braiding with my nails done, because I was able to use my long pointy stiletto nails to like grip that hair really good. But as I mentioned, once you get towards like halfway down that braid, not even halfway, a little bit above half, I just went ahead and secured that rubber band, secured that braid with that rubber band. Now, as far as the other side, I am going to do pretty much like a roller set look. So I will use my Marcel iron to curl not the whole entire thing, but just like the front side of that hair, because like I mentioned, before I even installed this wig, I went ahead and wand curled the whole thing before installing. So everything is already curled, but I just still, you know, wanted that body wave, not that body wave, but that roller set look towards the front. Now I did go ahead and do the baby hairs off camera just because I simply do them a lot on camera. But now I'm just going to take that Marcel iron and I'm going to begin to curl that hair backwards. And same thing with this, you can use a Marcel iron or you can just use a regular plug-in, you know, hot curler. When it gets really, really hot with a big barrel, not too much of a small barrel because you do want like big body curls. But however, I am going to just curl all of that straight back. I'm not going to razor any hair until I get to the end of curling and stuff like that. So just curl all those pieces going to the back, and then I will comb them out using a wide tooth comb, and then take my razor and trim some of that hair like pretty much for that bang area. So as you can see, I went ahead and trimmed like the hair down in an angle, and I'm just taking the top piece again where I cut as the bang and just rebumping it. And pretty much you just want to curl it to your liking and just comb everything into place. I also use that holding spray to help me mold the hair how I want it to be. And you just pretty much play with it until you get the desired finishing look that you want. So I will comb it back, pull it, spread it, use that bio silk to spray it and everything like that. Like I want it to fall a little bit more on her face, so I'm going to pull more of the hair forward. But as I mentioned, just play with it until you get the desired look. It might take some, a few tries of combing and pushing and, but just keep going until you get it where you like it. And then if you don't want it to move as much, you could just go ahead and spray it with some holding spray right afterwards. But like I mentioned, I only curl like that front piece. I did not curl the whole thing because it was previously one curl. But once I have it where I want it, I will shape and mold it and then go ahead and add the charms to it. So I noticed my camera was slightly blurry, so forgive me. I didn't even clean it before I started recording. But once I'm done doing all of that, I am going to just conceal the part using my black spray method and the foundation and just cleaning up that part. And then I will go ahead and add charms and you guys will see the finishing look. So if you haven't already, just go ahead and click the subscribe button now because I have more videos coming per usual. And let me know what you guys think about this look. And I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. And thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the finishing look.